Welcome to the South Rural Trails Committee meeting on May 2nd. I am calling the meeting to order at 7:30. We'll do a roll call vote. When I call your name, let me know that you're here. Satyendra Sharma,
Here.
Will Warren,
Here.
and Kat McKee here. Great. Okay, thank you all. So true to form, I recently sent the minutes from 4-4 and 4-5. Should I pull them up if we want to take a look at them, or have you had just a brief moment to review them?
They look fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So does someone want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes.
I second it.
Great, thank you. And well, okay, wonderful. So next up is the DCR Trails Agreement. So
You need to roll call
Roll
us.
call, yeah.
Thank you. I'm moving too fast. So Satyendra Sharma,
Yes.
Will Warren,
Yes.
Kat McKee. Yes, thank you. Next up is the MOA and the DCR. So this is becoming a comical situation. I have received word back from the town council, and so they've done another red line of the agreement, but they struck some things that didn't make sense, and they asked some questions that made me believe we needed to have a phone conversation. So I did try to propose a few times or connect town council with DCR so we could just knock this out in a phone call. But I need to talk to town council first, because some of the proposed red lines that they're suggesting don't align or make sense. I think they just need some clarification to understand why it's in there. So I'm trying to, and have not been able to use business time because I'm working full-time these days, well, always, but just particularly busy. So that is still on the radar and still will get done. And I hope I can report back at the next meeting that will have been taken care of. So any questions or discussion?
No.
Okay. Peninsula Trail Phase 1. So last time we spoke, we voted, so we did receive the quote back. It was less than and what we had expected within range. So I just want to share that with you. If you give me just a moment.
How much was it?
I'm gonna go there.
It's the fencing code. It's the fencing code.
This is the fencing quote, right?
Okay.
And
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah, so oh, that's the PO archive. So what we had initially, I just want us to see. Let me just make sure I have confidential information hidden, because I'm good like that at showing stuff on screen. Okay, share my screen, share.
So if you select a particular item, it will not show the other things. You should not show the full screen.
Oh
If you
yeah,
want to- yeah,
yeah. It's the either the application or the screen.
yeah.
And sometimes, so are you seeing the invoice right now?
Yes.
Okay, it's always that 2 seconds of nervousness. So this is the invoice that we initially received. So it was $35,472. And then the new invoice. I thought I already had it up. Forgive me. Is drum roll 33. So we saved a couple thousand on that, and we can apply that towards signage. And that's good. So so they're good. We've already procured the PO, so we're in good shape there. And we're just waiting for AnyFence to tell us they're ready to go and coordinate the time with MWA, which should be any day now, because they did say it was a good time of year to kind of get going. So that's exciting. And then I haven't heard from DPW. I know that there's a new superintendent coming in, but he's not starting until July. So I don't know if the interim DPW superintendent will continue through, which makes sense. So I'll touch base with DPW and see where they are with the parking. So no huge movement there. And the next up is our signage. We have to turn our attention to. And I think now that we've got and we'll talk about this later, the Choate Fund grant is well underway and we're doing some things there. So we're going to be able to turn our attention nicely to the signage on this piece, and some of what Sati had brought up last time, which was some history, can actually, be used for the signage that we're thinking about for this area. Any questions or discussion? Okay. Next up, potential. There's no new update with the SPAC contribution. I think SPAC has already met, and I haven't sent. I need to draft the outline to SPAC that will demonstrate how we could use potential contribution to enhance accessibility, as I had discussed with the chair, Bill Signs. So that's still outstanding. Is there any update from your last SPAC meeting, Will?
Yeah, in the last SPAC meeting, we were discussing something that might be a Braille sign substitute. So this would be something where
The
you'd have-
Bluetooth?
well, you'd know, not so much that, but you'd have an app on your phone, maybe not Bluetooth is difficult because it needs electricity, but something that you'd have on your phone that perhaps would be a QR code or something that people could scan and then get some information. Now that obviously could be used by sighted people as well.
Yes.
The other option is that we discussed navigation apps, and there are navigation apps that what they do is they basically you put up signs and the phone sees the sign and can tell a blind person where they are. So
Really?
yeah, and that might be of some use or some interest in for this trail as well.
How would we get more information, and are you the guy?
Yeah, I'm the guy. My brother actually is sending me some information. He's down in North Carolina, and he's in a group that has been looking at these kinds of navigation aids. So yeah, I'll look into it and see, what the cost would be. I think, I think it's fairly low cost, just because it's based on signs. It's not based on active electronics. So
great. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm excited to get into that.
Yeah, so that was those were some things that we were discussing at the SPAC.
Okay.
So that might be something that they would be interested in.
Yeah. So I'll add that to the list of potentials. It would be a navigation app and the QR codes, obviously.
Well, right, and these could be used on many different trails, and depending on what the cost is, that we might have enough money to do them in several places, right?
Nice.
So
thank you. Very good. Okay. So then Peninsula Trail Phase 2, this is the bridge and the boardwalk. So when we left last meeting, we had reached out to VHB. We conducted a site visit with VHB engineers to get a quote from them. The contact was out the following week and then back last week, and I moved our meeting as a result of expecting to get his quote this week, but we didn't get it, so we don't have the engineering quote. There were some different components to that quote that took, I'm sure, a little bit of time to pull together, so we'll have that for our next meeting. But the site visit did yield, I'm going to use this number and I'm going to use it carefully because I want to think that I missed something here, because when we spoke with VHB, they talked about, I'm trying to look for my notes because I had taken some little bit of notes that would help. And the quote was more like above 50,000, close to $70,000 or $80,000. And it had to do with some geotechnical, they have to go and drill down into the soil to see if it can take the weight of a bridge or the weight of a boardwalk, or, you know, what they're looking at. So there were some aspects of it that we had not initially discussed, even when I got the initial quote from VHB, to just, it was a rough ballpark. So there's a question about how much the engineering services are going to cost. And if it is that number, if it's large like that, then we have to take a different approach by getting more money. So so I can't really speak more to it than until we get their quote to see what they're thinking about.
Okay.
Okay. I will say that I have reached out to CPC rather, Community Preservation Committee, Freddie Gillespie, the consultant, to talk about whether that is an option. I know their round of funding is coming up, so I think they released something in June or July. They have a meeting on, hey, do you have a project, an idea, come and talk to us. But I wanted to talk to her to see if it was possible for a similar project that they've already funded, would this qualify? Are there funds that we could go to next town meeting and go before them and ask for funding? The timing of that is tricky, and we'd need to make sure it would align, because what it means is it puts the entire project on hold until July 1st of next year. Like, if the funds were approved at town meeting, then we wouldn't be able to use them until July 1st. And that gives us 6 months and then we run into our ARPA deadline, which I think we have to have our items procured but not spent fully by the end of 2024. And that might be 2025. Anyway, so my point in saying all of this is there's some timeline issues that we need to figure out.
Well, is there going to be a special town meeting?
I don't know if they like to do, I don't know if they can do.
The last I heard is there might be a special town meeting.
Interesting. So,
and I guess but the question would be if they approved funds at a special town meeting,
I don't know if they can do CPC funds at a fall meeting, because their schedule, if we follow what happened last time, which was, the application was due, it was a little bit later because they had a turnover of people and didn't have the right committee members in. They couldn't get quorum for so long, so their entire process got pushed back. So our application was due in October, and we didn't get it worked out and figured out until early of the next year. So say you move that up, they start in June. I don't know if that leaves them enough time, but maybe. That's a great idea. I'll ask.
That could be, I guess, that would definitely be something to look into. I don't, like I said, I don't know exactly.
That would fit much better. But wait, though, if they do approve it at fall town meeting, what would the funds would not be available any sooner than July 1st, right?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
July next year, you mean?
Huh?
July the following year?
Yeah, the next fiscal year. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at. So anyway, the other thing is for funding, and we might be able to poke around a little bit, with engineering services, it might open up this bridge, this type of project might open up to a different type of funding. So there might be other options out there. I don't know if I don't want to go for a Mass Trails grant necessarily, because unless we hire VHB. So that's the other thing. We could hire VHB to do a Mass Trails grant for us. They would write it and such. So I guess that's a possibility. But I think they charge like $5,000 or something.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's, I got to double check that number. When I heard it, I was like, no, I don't think so. That's a lot of money. Anyway,
right.
So it's disappointing that we don't have more information yet, but it is what it is. And we're not going to go to bid until we get more information, because that would just be a waste of effort for everybody. Okay, so we'll wait to see that quote. Next up is DCR Earth Day cleanup event recap. Satyendra and your wife, Parul, right? And Isabella and myself got out and we got dirty. We went down into the route, into the water's edge at Route 30 Causeway, and then we did both sides, and then we went to Route 85, and Sati and his wife went further down on Route 30 on the Causeway. So we got a lot of trash out of the water, which was great. And you might have seen my post, or you didn't, but when Isabella and I were at Route 85, we found 32 tennis balls in that location. 32 tennis balls. Like, it just, somebody's, it wasn't a group, like randomly someone's playing with a dog losing a ball, but 32 times that happened. Because there's
how many small bottles of liquor did you find?
Yeah, right.
Oh, there
So
are tons of them.
so those nips, right? That's like the big
Yes.
going funny, like, what nip was at your stretch of the road? So we found, were they 40s, Sati? 40 Coronas. That's a
Oh,
favorite of fishermen,
that's-
apparently, off of Route 30. They love the Corona fish, the 40s. So we found a ton of those bottles in the water, and so we got those out. And then we found, I don't know how Isabella did it, but she kept finding a ton of pens. I don't know how pens end up in they did. And we found, unfortunately, I think Perul found some a needle or two along the
really?
roads and stuff like that. Yeah. So, a lot of good stuff. I found a boogie board, like what is it, a knee board? One of those.
Well, that's because of the tremendous surf in the reservoir
Yeah,
there.
I think it flew off someone's car. I don't know. Anyway, how did it go for the Rotary side? Well, we use Rotary's bag, so we technically participated in both Rotary and the DCR's Earth Day cleanup because we got in the water. But how did it go?
It was fine. The turnout was probably not as much as last year,
Oh.
simply because the weather was not as nice as last year, right? Last year was warmer and sunny.
Oh, okay.
So I think there were more people came. We did get some cleanup, which
Do
is
they
good.
do they ever count the number of trash bags they pick up?
I don't think they do, for the simple reason that you just leave them by the side of the road, and DPW picks them up. So unless people are reporting,
Well, I
then-
was wondering if DPW had a clipboard and they would just like tick off every time they picked up 5. So anyway, but we had a good number, Satya. How many would you think we had at Route 30? It was like at least 10.
Yeah, more than that, I think.
And then you had more down there, and we had
Yeah.
another 4 or 5. So we could have it could be close to 15, 17.
Yep.
Trash.
Because we got 5 from the DPW office.
Oh,
We
you
went
did.
early in the morning, yeah.
Okay.
So, and
'cause
then
you
you had a lot of them.
You also did 9/11. You just made your round.
Yeah, we did it right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Great.
But you didn't show up for the pizza at the library.
I was still in the water. I did. And I had a wetsuit on, so I was getting all the stuff. And then I still had the wetsuit on, and then I was along Route 85. And then I felt foolish because I was in a wetsuit on ground, and people were driving by. And I can't explain this, and I'm not going to. So, but we got a
All
lot.
Okay, well, that's good. I guess it's funny. I combed Mount Vickery and I didn't find a single nip. So I don't
Oh,
know.
good.
I guess we don't drink too much down here at Breakneck Hill Road and such. Sorry.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who fish, the fishermen, they
Oh,
do.
yeah. Well, what else are you gonna do, right? By the
Okay.
way, speaking of important things, how's your cat?
I'll talk to you offline about it, but good news. There's
Oh,
good.
good. All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much for asking. Yeah, that was it's been stressful. Poor kitty. Okay, so next is Choate Fund grant. So we have our hike series. So a couple things going on. One is as part of I'm going to start with what happened last weekend. So on April 30th, which was Sunday, we were partnering with Stewardship to honor Open Space Preservation Commission's Planet Palooza, and we were hosting 2 nature walks led by Dan Harvey. Those got rescheduled because of the rain. So we rescheduled them for May 13th, which is a Saturday, May 13th. And we're now just finalizing the time. It looks like 9 a.m. and 11 a.m.
So this is on 13th?
May 13th,
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah. So that's before Mother's Day, and it is what it is. But maybe people would like to take their moms out on a nice nature hike. But the good news is on the reschedule is now the forest will be really in full bloom. So there'll be lots of flowers to see, and the trees will have all their leaves, and it'll be easier to identify. So it will actually make for a more productive walk. So we're really excited about that. So that's that. Then upcoming this weekend, we have scheduled on May 7th, Sunday at 1 p.m. another nature walk with Debbie Costine at the 9/11 Loop. And so she's going to be, it's called a family stroll in the woods. And we are trying to promote it now. So if you know anyone who would be interested in going, please share and get the word out. We have several registrants now, and we hope for more. I think we are capping out at like between 12 and 15, because smaller groups are sometimes a little bit easier to manage, and you get more out of it when you can hear. So
Do we have a trails representative to be there?
yes, Sati, you had volunteered. Is that still good for you?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work for you to be there the whole time, that's okay. I'm really just helping with registration. It's up to you.
So it's a 1 o'clock, right?
It's at 1. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
at 9/11 Field.
Yeah.
So you've already been there. You know where to go. So there's parking there. The other thing is happening on May 7th is our Yoga on the Trail series is kicking off. And so we have our Yoga on the Trails scheduled for 11 a.m. that morning. And we do have, so we have had a good response because Yoga on the Trails is kind of new, so that people are excited about that. And we have roughly, let's see, with all, if I count the total number of participants with the families, this is the family session, is roughly 33 people. So that's a great response. Now we have a challenge here, and I can, I don't think Tom is around, and I can ask Isabella, but I'm out this weekend, like gone all day, Saturday and Sunday, and Will is not able to attend. Because your daughter you need to pick her up from UConn, is that right? So
That's right.
that's an
I
11.
can do it.
Hmm?
I can do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock, right?
Are my hero. Now you don't have to be there the whole time either. You could just be there like in the
Yeah.
beginning and help check in.
That's fine.
Oh,
That would be great. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. So this is how, so just so you know, we've talked to the police because we
Okay.
wanted to find out about parking. When we initially talked about where we would be putting these sessions, we talked about Deerfoot at that spillway, and we talked about the trail along the athletic road field, the Fay School field off of Middle Road. When I spoke with the police, or actually I spoke with Emma first, Emma Bartolini is the individual doing yoga on the trails. She's hosting it or leading it. We decided to move from Deerfoot because Deerfoot is such a narrow road. It's going to be hard for parking, and it actually might be dangerous. So if we flip to the other side, Parkerville. So this session is going to be on Parkerville. And if you're familiar with Parkerville, the trail, you know, it kind of goes along, there's some athletic fields right at the end there. The Burnett house is, wait, no, the Burnett is, yeah, the Burnett is at,
Burnett House, yeah.
is at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that extends both Deerfoot and Burn, right? So it's at the very end. So there's parking along the athletic fields, right? So that's great. So we're going to have people park there. And then Sati, I'm trying to remember, it's not on the, so where the parking is, it's on the opposite side, right? Where the trail goes to Deerfoot. Do you know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I can bring it up on a map if you want. And what I did was I ordered some yard signs that have an arrow pointing this way, right? So we'll put those out. I'll show you what I got here. So that should help guide people. And all you need to do is check people in and say, okay, you're here, yay. Okay, great. Let me share screens, this one, and share. Okay, so this is what it'll look like.
Wow, nice.
Right? And so we'll have 2 of these, and that they don't have a date on them because we can reuse them, right?
Yeah.
So it's sustainable. And so we'll make sure that people can park, and then they're asked to bring a mat and a towel. And I'll send out a reminder. Sati, I'll keep you in the loop. I'll send you the registration information. I'll have to see if I have internet. I might need to just share with you the login information so that you can kind of check if somebody signs up on Saturday, because it's a leadership training and I'm going to be camping, but I don't know if I'll have internet. If I have internet, and I'll double check with the leaders to see if I have internet, then I can hook you up with all this information. If not, then we'll have to play by ear.
Okay.
The other thing is, Chief Newell was very kind and said, he's because I asked if there's any issues if we do this, park on Middle Road or park here, and he's like, he doesn't think there's going to be an issue, but if and to alert the police will know the dates. I'll let them know what the dates are, and then we need to have a trails representative so that he has a phone number. So I'm going to give him your phone number, Sati, just in case there's a question or something. And what I'll do is I'll email him and I'll copy you, so everyone will be in the know and everyone will have everyone's contact information. So this should go really well. If it rains, I'm just going to shed a few tears because
I think it will be nice because
I think it is too, because all
finally.
the rain's coming this week, right? You
Yeah.
can't rain for 7 days straight, but you can, I know. But I just need some stuff to not be rescheduled anymore because I'm losing my patience.
Speaking of schedules, are you going to post the schedule for remaining activities and who volunteered for what?
Well, you haven't volunteered, so that actually it depends. So if Sati, you had volunteered for the October for Saturday the 20th at 10. I don't know if you want to switch off with Will, if you're available, Will, as a way of thanking our friend Sati for.
Well, actually, I there's a Rotary Day of service that day, so
That's right.
sort of
fine.
I gotta get tangled up with that.
That's
Okay.
fine. I mean,
But
Yes.
what about the other? There were
Yeah,
3.
Tom was going to
Okay.
do the 21st at 9, and then Isabella was going to do the June 4th at what did we say, 11?
Well, I'm certainly going to, be very busy feeling guilty, I guess.
There'll be other things. You still have to get us a bench, right?
Yeah. Well, I sent you a bench.
now, by the way, I saw a bench I can share, or I mean, I can send the link. I saw a bench, concrete bench on Lowe's site. It is like $80.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, my concrete bench is free, but it has been spurned.
No, I didn't say we couldn't use your bench. We just have to still buy a bench because we said we'd buy a bench.
Okay, so my question is, did you take a look at the bench that I found on Home Depot?
Yeah, I saw that. It's like $585 or something.
$534 and free
$534.
shipping. The benches go up pretty significantly. I mean, $534 is kind of the low end. If you go below that, they are not very sturdy. This looks like a pretty sturdy bench.
Okay.
And it's one that you can put in ground. So I think it gives us a kind of a bottom end. Now, if you want to spend more, there's a whole bunch of of other opportunities, but benches very quickly get up into the $700-800 range and even over $1,000.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of bench you want to get.
Oh, what is that? A
Pardon?
commercial park bench?
Yeah,
Oh.
that kind of thing. And then, of course, I think if you buy one through the town, it starts at like 100,000 or something.
Oh. No.
How do you put that in? How do you does that have to have concrete?
Yeah, that's an in-ground bench. So you you would have to tote some concrete to where you're going to put it in, and put some concrete footings for it to sit on.
Did you listen to the last meeting? I did just recently, is why I ask. Just, I was hoping, that we could maybe do a bench without concrete.
Oh, okay.
For simplicity purposes, because, it's gonna be much more of an ask of a landowner. DCR and MWA is what I'm thinking about, of like, hey, can we dig a big hole, put some concrete and put this bench here, when we're right next to the reservoir. So that's
No,
what
that'd be fine. I mean, there are plenty of benches but in that case, you probably need to be going to concrete, so it's pretty heavy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I sent one you in the chat. You can check that.
Okay. Yeah, that would,
yeah.
I'll take a look
This
at
is-
that.
This is 300 pound, so it is not easily like.
Wait,
what's the,
how are we gonna carry this?
Well, that's
No,
that's the
they
other.
will drop it off. Lowe's will drop it off.
No, they'll drop it off at your house. They're not
No,
going to drop it
Are
off
you seeing it
on the
here?
trail.
yeah, this one.
That's cute. I like it.
Well,
Oh,
this
wait,
one,
wait,
wait a
but
minute.
why is it so cheap?
Well, that's exactly the bench that I have offered.
It's a concrete, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's. I mean, that one is the one that I have is just like that, and it breaks down into three parts: the two legs and the bench. And what we could do is we could just get some industrial strength glue and glue the bench to the legs, and then it would be pretty hard to pick up. Does it say that it's 300 pounds?
Yeah, it says specifications.
Well, that kind of bench, I'm sure, if it's like my bench at all, it's three pieces. So
That's capacity.
Yeah.
300. It will take 300 pounds. Okay.
yeah, I don't think that's the bench.
Okay, I got it. It's 186 pounds, though. It's still.
Oh, 186 pounds. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You can bench 186, right?
I'm sure that our chair can, but yeah, but no, it breaks into three pieces. I'd be willing to bet you that the top is like I don't know, 50 to 70 pounds, and then the two legs divide the rest.
And it is like free pickup. What else you need?
It's but no, it's it's something you probably could get a some type of wheelbarrow or something, and you could wheel it
Yeah,
in, right?
yeah.
So
Oh, I know
not
what.
that
We're
bad.
gonna get this super duper cart from Home Depot for our shed, and we can use that if it has
Yeah.
if
But
it can carry 300 pounds. It
but
depends.
but no, you mean 186, but you wouldn't carry it.
186.
That's what I meant.
It's going to come in three pieces, so you carry one piece at a time.
Look at this. Ooh.
This is expensive. This is stone.
Okay,
How much is that?
$516. Okay,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
cool. Not
Okay.
cool.
What
But-
site is this you're looking at?
It's just Google pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. All right. So yeah, I like it. And there's also Framingham, I think also, you see them all the time, like some wire, like the wire, not the wire, it's metal benches.
Yeah, but metal benches will get corroded.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Uh,
these things.
I don't know. I mean, these benches are coated with a pretty heavy duty coating.
Oh, $672 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
they go up in price pretty quickly. I guess the issue with the metal benches, right? Those probably don't break down. And so whatever the weight is the weight. So
Oh, they
you
might
know.
walk off though too, right?
that's true too, depending on where you put them. If you don't put them far enough down the trail,
Yeah.
then they could walk off. You're exactly right.
It's so complicated. Life is complicated.
Well, but like the bench that Sati is looking at, I think is great. I think what you do is that you would glue the top to the legs when you put it in, and then it would be
Or just
very.
or will just the other thing might be you drill a hole and with the masonry.
I would be concerned that the concrete would not be such would not be
okay.
one that you could drill without a great risk of it cracking. And even if you
Yeah.
did get the hole in, you'd still have a risk of it cracking when that 300-pound person sits on it.
Right, yeah. Glue is fine. Glue is fine.
Yeah,
Heavy duty glue.
yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Will. That was great. So it gives us something to think about. I should go, I guess, let's think about,
I mean, the reason I was looking at in ground is that, and this was really quite interesting, is that, the Trailblazers went on a hike in Hopkinton, and like at least a mile from where you park your cars, they had put in an in-ground bench, which was like, it didn't break down. It was like one big piece, and it had concrete footings. And I was like, wow, how did they get all that concrete here and then carry the bench? It's pretty remarkable.
I've been carrying, let's see, 300 pounds of concrete in my car.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask you why you are getting those.
Yeah, you
Well,
saw that, right? Okay. Because, so did you know, a little off topic, but I had concrete in my garage for the town forest sign install. And I had it from last fall, and I put it in my garage, and I put it on a mat, like a rubber mat. And over the winter, apparently it will absorb moisture.
Oh yes.
From the air, yeah.
Yeah.
It became concrete in the bag. So,
But that was easy for you to pick up, right? I mean, you just deadlifted the whole thing.
yep,
Oh yeah.
I deadlifted it multiple times, and now I don't know how to get rid of it. Do you guys know what should I do with it for disposal? How do you get rid of 50
You
pound?
don't dispose, you can use it as stones or somewhere in the trail, maybe.
But it's hardcore, like it's really compact 50-pound bag of hard moisture filled concrete.
You can use them as steps.
As what steps?
Steps.
How many bags do you have?
3.
So you got 150 pounds.
What am I supposed to do with it
Um,
besides get it out of my car because it's wasting my gas?
Oh yeah, you might be paying gas.
I mean,
Right. It's a dilemma, huh?
I don't know. That's
I like the stone idea. Like if it is in fact solid, then we could just create some concrete steps somewhere. Ooh, our shed needs a ramp. It could
Well-
be a little stone.
how
That
long.
is-
How long are the bags, by the way? How tall?
They're
How long?
not that long. They're like, I don't know how to tell. Like,
Is
2
2
2
feet, 3
feet,
feet?
about 2 feet.
maybe 2 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
2
so
feet by
what you
15
do is
inches.
you take the bags off and you stack them on the side of the trail, and it becomes a seat.
And we don't need to buy a bench.
That's exactly right. And no one's gonna take that bench, I'll tell you.
Okay. All right.
DIY bench.
Okay. So, all right. So that's that. And so thank you, Sati. I'll be in touch offline for the yoga trail. So, and we do need to get a little
Thank
more,
you, Sati. Thank you.
a few more signups. Yeah. For, am I still sharing?
No.
Okay, good. All right. And then I just gave you the Planet Palooza Nature Walk update, which is May 13th. Anything else? So I guess this is anything else before the committee, trail maintenance and website. So let's talk website after this next piece. I did want you to know we had already approved this a while back. I ordered signs and I changed the style. I ordered signs for the trail that abuts and is next to Beals Preserve. People have been walking on the wrong side. So we're going to put up, we had already in the past put up 2 signs on each of the ends, one at the bridge at Beals and one off of Lynbrook. So these signs that I have up here will replace those 2, and I'll install them when they come in.
What will they attach to?
They're yard signs, so they're stakes, metal stakes,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. like the H stake sign, like a political sign you see all around.
So this is probably, what you're saying is that these are going to end up on a college student's dorm wall. That sounds good.
Nobody's putting this on the dorm wall.
So these will be the Beals Preserve and the other place. What? Where?
Yeah, so they're going to be off of they're gonna be, we'll call it along the Sudbury Reservoir Trail, that's near Beals Preserve, near the bridge, and off of Lynbrook.
So this is sort of the anti-Mandalorian sign. This is not the way. All right, I got it.
Yep. Okay, and then the next up is a website. So Will knows more about this than I do, but the town is undergoing, the town website is getting a facelift. And so we're gonna have a new website. And it's going live sometime in May. There was a 15th date thrown out, but I listened to the last MTC meeting, so that may or may not happen on the 15th.
Yeah, I don't know if it will. Yes, keep going.
One thing I wanted to talk to Jay about was, I understood from that meeting that a lot of the data has already been pulled. So what that means is if we have released, which we have, and the town has new news and announcements, I want to make sure that those news and announcements that relate to trails are incorporated into the new website, because it just shows a history of what the news and announcements were. And so Trails had one, and the town did one on Trails' behalf to announce our upcoming walks and stuff. So I did want to talk to Jay and make sure that that information is pulled.
Yeah, I have no idea what the news and announcement section of the new website will look like.
Oh, I don't care what it looks like as long as it's there, because it's
Understood. And then the other thing is that, I did an analysis of the number of committee minute years. So in other words, if a committee has minutes for 2016 through 2023, they have 8 committee minute years. And, what it turns out is that apparently Civic Plus is charging a lot of money to convert these minutes and agendas into the new system. And I'm flabbergasted. I can't understand why that would be the case.
Is it a store? Is it about space? Because they're just
No, it's not space. I don't know what it is. And, I sent Sam Stivers an email today, and I said, look, we're asking them to convert contents that's on our current Civic Plus supported website on their server to a new Civic Plus supported site on their server. And they've done this dozens or hundreds of times. They should have this completely automated, because this is not the special pages of Trails. These are the standard agendas and minutes and the files that go with minutes. And I'm flabbergasted that they're essentially, as I think as Jay said, they're charging $1,000 for if you do all of your committees for a year, right? Which is a lot. And then the other thing is he was talking about the way that they're counting the files that they convert seems kind of suspect. I think they're I think they're kind of sandbagging us, to tell you the truth, to get money out of us.
I think that's called business.
Well, yeah, but I kept bringing up this issue at the MTC about the conversion, and no one would listen. And now, basically what I'm hearing is that they don't want to convert more than 4 years, and maybe only 2 years of minutes and agendas, because of the cost to do the conversion. It's like, what? So I don't know.
I don't understand. What does conversion mean? And because we just went through a website migration last year.
Yeah.
And what we did for these backend, like these files that are stored, you literally copy from one and you paste them to the other. And then I don't understand too what the issue is and why it would cost.
Okay. Well, there's 334 minute committee minute years. Okay. So that's that, and each year could have multiple minutes in it. But the conversion would be, for instance, if you wanted to do the minutes of April 5th for this committee, you'd have to pick up the agenda file and then put it in from the current website, and then put it into the new place in the new website, right? And my thought is that that's something that can be done with a script programmatically. And then you'd have to pick up the minute file, and you'd have to put that in. And then you'd have to pick up any files that were discussed and put those in. But like I said, this is something they've done dozens or hundreds of times for different clients, dozens of clients, hundreds of clients. I can't believe that this isn't completely automated with scripts, right? it's basically you're presenting exactly the same files, the same information, but you're presenting it in the new website's look and feel, right? And if you've done a website conversion, you're taking information from the old website and maybe it looks one way there and you're putting it into a new website, but that's something that you can actually write a script to do
Yeah.
that for you. So I'm kind of flabbergasted that that it seems like this is so expensive.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
and then the other thing the other objection that I had is I don't think it's a good look. We're spending money to have a new website, and lo and behold, we're dropping a huge amount of stuff that's been online for years and available for people directly. We're dropping it off, and I don't see a good reason for that.
Yeah, I do like the fact that it's gonna be blue.
Well, okay, that's fine. I mean, blue state, blue website, but I mean the website looked fine. Websites are websites. I'm not. Here's the thing: we're not selling consumer products.
I know, but I think
We're a municipality.
I know, but the functionality will be improved and it'll be improved for the back end. I think I understand. And hopefully we'll get our hands on the back end and then, because I've got to do a ton of updates and I don't want to, anyway, so it's.
Well, you were, as you heard, you were one of the, if you listened to the MTC meeting, the Trails Committee was discussed quite favorably as one that they could trust to do changes for themselves.
Yeah, so we've been maintaining our website since 2018
Okay.
without issue, trained by Tom. And then we went through multiple trainings with Civic Plus offline. They had a group training for basic and advanced. So and then also I did explain to Jay that in my day job, I help in my operations role, I help oversee the IT department and that we outsource, and we're heavily involved in security and making sure we're, not exposing risks and things like that. So, if there's a concern, if there's a vetting process, these skills would lend well. And I also assisted with our website updates. So
Did
I
you-
don't
did you
write, I don't
say-
write code or anything like that, but I can.
Did
you
you
know,
say that you had actually taken training on the new Civic Plus software?
The old Civic Plus.
The old, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the new one, I think, is a completely different set of tools.
Mhm.
And that was another question that I had, is just when is that training going to be delivered? Now,
I'll ask because because I do want to make sure we update shortly.
I asked some questions about who's actually going to do the changes for committees, and what I was told before Jay changed the policy was that it would be some department person would do it, which is why I asked Tim Davis if if his people would be the ones. And that email that I sent him and copied you on has screenshots of all of your pages.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. That's like a nice peace of mind.
Well, I've done that for all committees, but I haven't sent it out because I want to see what develops. I don't want, they all hate me if I send something out to all the chairs. But on the other hand, have you received any warning that this is coming? I haven't seen any announcement that there's a new website.
No, but I stuck my nose in it. But I only learned about the date from the MTC meeting. So it would be good to know because like if I was going to go in and make updates and now I know I shouldn't do that because the information's already been transferred over. So and there's other updates happening. Like I know Planet Palooza with the Open Space Preservation Commission has new dates. So that page might get updated. So I'm just curious how the new information is going to be. If everything's been ported over, how do you track everything that's changing on a day-to-day basis? Especially, like, I guess they're going to have to with agendas and minutes. Those are constantly getting updated too. So that's a little bit of a.
Well, those, agendas and minutes are actually poked in by Jim Haggerty and his staff.
Yeah, I know.
Right. But
I know, but what I'm saying is, yeah, I don't know what it does. Now we're off topic and.
I understand, but the pages, the pages that you've created, using the current set of tools are, you know, I don't, I mean, are those magically going to appear when, you know, when we fire up and look at the new site, or what's going to happen with those?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, okay, so I did a little assumption there. I thought that, yeah, they could, because no one's gonna take our site away and not tell us, right?
They're going to take the whole thing away, and they're going to
Well,
give
they're
you
just transferring it to a new site, so then Trails would be there with all the good glory that we have. Like, we're not gonna lose anything. I will double check with you.
Well, let's just wait and see what we get. I don't.
Well, I'm not waiting because I don't want to lose anything.
Well,
Like,
don't quote me, but I mean, yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you. I don't, like I said, as far as I know, now maybe I missed it, but as far as I know, no announcement has been made that, you know, that the website's suddenly going to upgrade in less than 2 weeks at this point, or more. You know, as Jay was saying, it may take more.
And just so you know, the Trails Committee has always had a separate domain name, southborotrails.org. So that the town, so I want to make sure that we're going to continue to keep that.
Well, when you hold on, I can tell you, but I think that, you know, when you go to the Southborough Trails Committee website, you know, via the current software, right? As far as I know, you're just a vanilla website here.
Oh, look at that.
It's not a special,
We lost the domain.
well, no, the domain may still be somewhere, but
When I go southborotrails.org, it goes to a blank page of,
oh, okay. Well then,
it
yeah.
has expired. Wow, no one, that is so awful. Oh,
Well, I guess to answer your earlier question, yes, they're going to take away your without telling you. So yeah, this is, you know, the other.
dude, no, this is big because that,
Yes, I agree, it's big, and you know, the thing that to me compounds the issue is that, okay, there's two sets of criteria, two sets of subject matter here. There's the custom pages that you've done, and I don't know what they're going to do with those, because there may not be a one-to-one. They may actually be massaging those into a new style, which you may not like, right?
we lost our domain name, people.
I understand.
No,
I
no,
feel
no, you
naked,
don't.
believe me. And then the other thing are the agendas and minutes, which
I don't care about those anymore. Those are now
Uh,
no longer my business. We've lost our domain name and we're no longer a domain. We're no longer southborotrails.org. I have that email, that address everywhere. That is what we've been using on everything.
well, that's interesting. Then maybe that's why we're not getting a lot of traffic.
No, it's literally on the signs that I just paid for and printed.
You're kidding.
No, it's not. All right, now we have to end the meeting because I'm going to have to address this. That means we lost it also.
Well, let's
picked up.
back up. Let's back up a minute here. All right.
I don't, what is it something relevant to this?
Yes, it is.
I don't want to talk about minutes anymore.
No, it's not minutes. It's to
Okay.
your domain.
Yep.
It could be that your domain will come back to life and then take people, sort of automatically forward them to the new website. And so your domain name will be reborn and will once again be active and once again be a good thing to use, but it will under the covers be going, you know, forwarding you off to another website.
This domain, southborotrails.org, has expired.
Well, okay, who's telling you that? Which
When I type in southborotrails.org, which used to bring me to our damn website, sorry, our website, it.
Okay, well, that's a question to talk to Jay about. But it could be that he is going to reinstitute it. I don't know. There's two types of expired. One expired is that it's currently non-functional, but they still own it. The other type of expired is that it's gone. it's you don't own it
If you
anymore.
let your domain name expire, it's gone because it's sucked up by someone who wants to sell it for more. So, okay. Anything else on this topic? Because I've got some business to attend to outside of this related to our domain.
No,
It's no
fine.
longer on the website. It's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Move to adjourn this meeting.
Okay, so we need to schedule a new meeting. I'm gonna touch base with VHB, figure out when we need to, when we're gonna get our quotes for consulting, for engineering services, and that will dictate when we meet next. Sati, I'll be in touch with you about Sunday, and thank you very much for doing all of that for us. We really appreciate it. And if you could take pictures, that would be great.
Yeah.
Probably not so much of the faces of people doing yoga, but maybe just like something relative to the yoga. Emma is sensitive to not broadcasting people's faces, which is very respectful.
And what is the next step on the bench, by the way?
So next meeting, we'll talk about, we'll
Okay,
just,
that's fine.
I'm gonna reach out to a couple of landowners and Barrier and DCR and see if we have some, like, if we were, tentatively looking at this location, would you be open to it, that kind of thing. And then we'll have a better sense of what we'll be doing.
Okay, is our next meeting in June, or are we gonna have another meeting in May?
Would you guys be okay in May? Because what we're trying to do is accomplish, we need to figure out about our bid. What are we going to do about that? Like, we need to know if we need more money. So these engineering service, this quote that we're getting is going to be really important too.
Well, do you want, I mean, I think it would be at least 2 weeks to the next meeting, right?
Yeah, at least something like that.
So either the 16th or the 23rd.
Okay, let's look. Good call. I hope we didn't lose. I mean, that domain name has been, the Trails Committee purchased it in 2014 or something like that, and we've been using it since then. So for this to fall off radar, it's just a big loss, and I'm really disappointed. We've spent a lot of time marketing and getting our name and our website out there. So
And what's the name of that thing again? Southborough Trails?
.org.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, I'll stop dwelling. What dates again?
It would be the 16th or 23rd.
16th
If we
is
do
what?
the 23rd, then we would have had 3 yoga on the trails by then. So let's try for that. Tuesday, the 23rd.
Yeah, sounds good.
Will, and I wasn't cutting you off earlier. I apologize. I just
No,
got
that's fine. You
sidetracked
have
and
to move on.
distracted
I agree.
about the disappointment that I'm about to experience. So 7:30, I'll reach out to, I'll send out an Outlook reminder and get Tom and Isabella there.
How do you spell southboroughtrails.org, by the way?
SOUTHBOROUGH trails.org.
So it's all
spelled out.
mushed together, Southborough and Trails.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
when I do it, I actually get a page that's talking to me about the cheapest and best SUV.
Yep, that's the same page I get.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Well, we
Great.
might get
So does someone
vegetables.
want to adjourn? Make a motion to adjourn?
Will,
I moved that we adjourn the meeting. I was going to let Sati because he's
Okay.
saving my butt this weekend, but I moved that we adjourn the meeting.
I
Okay.
second it because I already written that thing
All
in
right.
my
We're
minutes.
going to adjourn at 8:28 p.m.
Yep.
So do a roll call. Satyendra Sharma,
Yes.
Will Warren,
Yes.
Pat McKee. Yes. Thank you all. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Good
Let's
night.
find our website. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.